You know, this is your very first steamboat race to be out here and anchoring it for us.
That's right. Normally I'm consumed with derby things, and I decided to take a very brief break here to watch this important
we're
race.
glad you did.
Yeah.
And it's funny because all these years I have just accepted the fact that the winner of the steamboat race gets gilded antlers. And Fred's, what are these gilded antlers? And you found out.
Yeah, well, you hear about it in sports. You know, the Georgetown Hoyas. Like, what's a Hoya? We finally found out about that. And then the whole thing came up with golden antlers. We found out that back in 1962, Judge Marlowe Cook got this whole thing going when he bought the bell. His secretary evidently had some golden antlers. Actually, at the time they weren't golden. They're just metal sitting in her backyard as a backyard ornament. And I'm like, well, what connection is there to a big boat race with that? Well, they decided that they got talking one day in their office, and the secretary convinced the judge that they'd have a boat race in 1963, and that not only would they present the antlers as a prize to the winner, but they'd paint them gold every year.
And that had something to do with the deer being fast.
Oh, yeah. You know, a quick animal, sleek, svelte, and so what the heck, why not give it to a paddle boat?
Right. We like it. And I tell you what, one of the people that we're going to go to right now, Paula Tupman, is at the Waterfront Park, and that's where a lot of folks are. Hi, Paula.
Hello, Paula.
Sarah, hi. How are you? Now, John Bowl says he's got the best seat in the house, but I think we have the best seat in the house here at Waterfront Park. There are a lot of changes that have taken place here since last year. I believe Sandra Hughes was here last year, and it was so cold and so rainy, she was standing about ankle deep in mud. But it's a beautiful day. They've paved over the park to make it a lot more pleasant to be at. As a matter of fact, the chow wagon is even here. There's some live music and lots of food, so people are able to eat, drink, and be very comfortable as they watch the race get underway. As you can see, the Clark Memorial Bridge is right behind me, so you can get a very good look at the start of the race. Now, as I said, last year was pretty miserable. It's very beautiful right now. Barbara Crow was here last year, and she's with me right now. Barbara, you were here last year. How many years have you come out to the boat race?
Last 3 years, Paul. I've been here 3 years.
Now, tell me how it was last year compared to this year, and that's including the park.
It's pretty miserable. It was raining. It was cold, mud up to our ankles, but we still enjoyed the race. This year, it's a lot better. Sun's shining. It's really doing... We're going to have a good race this year.
What do you think about the chow wagon being right here?
I think we're going to have a real good race this year. We need the chow wagon here to bring people down to the Louisville area. Mayor Abramson has done a great job bringing people downtown.
Thanks, Barbara. And I hear those cannons. The race is underway. Let's go back to you, Liz and Fred.
All right, Paula, thanks very much. Let's find out where the race is going here.
Let's go to Reed Yaden. Hi, Reed. What do you see?
Hi, what we see is they fired the cannon. I marked the race time start as 5:12. That's 12 minutes late, and it's a pretty clean start as best I could see as they head for the Clark Memorial Bridge. It's running neck and neck at this point. You can see on your screen there that there's no distinct advantage, but the Delta Queen is pouring out a ton of black smoke over there as they're not quite to the Clark Memorial Bridge yet. The 27th renewal of the great steamboat race is underway, and they're running neck and neck against a river current now. They're running against the current, and up here, the closer you get to the dam and through the disturbed water underneath the bridges and the pilings and the like, the current is much, much stronger up here, closer to 4 miles an hour. When they get down near the turning point, you'll be looking at more like a 2 mile per hour current. So what kind of a factor will the current be? We shall see. But it was a running start. The Delta Queen did not have to pull very far away from the wharf before they fired the cannon on the Zachary Taylor, and off she went. That so much of what we do here in this Derby week is actually tradition. It's traditional for the Sea Scout of the Year to fire the starting cannon down there on the Zachary Taylor, and Kevin Keller did that honor at 12 minutes after 5. It's really too close to call at this point as they're about to put the noses of each boat under the Clark Memorial Bridge for the first time. Now, when they come home again, of course, that'll be the end of it. But as they come under the Clark Bridge for the first time, the race has been underway about a minute and a half, a little less than 2 minutes. I'm going to call it neck and neck, if you will, nose to nose as they go under the Clark Memorial Bridge. And we're on our way to 6 Mile Island, the turnaround point for the 27th Great Steamboat Race. Can the Belle of Louisville win it for 3 consecutive times? I'll tell you one thing, the Delta Queen is really, really hugging that Kentucky shoreline. Possibly he senses the water is a little less disturbed there. The Belle of Louisville looks like she's going to be heading even closer now to the Indiana shoreline. So my first guess is that both boats may run very, very close to their respective shorelines as they have cleared They have cleared the Clark Memorial Bridge now. You would have to give a slight edge, ever so slight, to the Belle of Louisville. But this is a long race against the current at this point, and we're off and rolling. So, Fred and Liz, it's yours for the moment, but it's exciting at this point.
Reed, as we've seen so many times, especially in horse racing, the start to a race is everything, and it seems like both have gotten off to a great one. Of course, the Indiana side a little bit of a shorter route, so the Belle of Louisville has a little bit of an advantage. But
you know, I thought a year ago the start was good, but Fred, you're exactly right. This is the best start in really adverse conditions with the river conditions. This is the best start that I have seen. It was a real good start.
Now, you've seen a lot of races. Have you ever seen one get off on time?
No, not yet. Okay, that's the one consistent in this whole thing. I have yet to see one get off on time, and we kept that record intact. Okay, back to you.
All right, Reed, thanks very much.
Well, just about everybody lining the river will get at least a glimpse of the two stern-wheelers. Let's take a look at a map of the course. Now, the 14-mile race starts at the Clark Memorial Bridge, as you've seen, and the boats steam upriver until they get to 6 Mile Island. There, the Miss Ida tugboat will help the Belle turn around, and for the first time, the Delta Queen will be assisted by a tugboat, the Sharon M. The Queen says she won't use her powerful bow thrusters. After the turnaround, the boat steamed back to the Clark Memorial Bridge. The Belle on the Indiana side of the river, as Reed said, and the Delta Queen sticking to the Louisville side. The entire race should take about an hour and a half.
And who will win the great Steamboat race? We'll have much more in the way of highlights and live coverage in just a few seconds on Channel 32, so stay with us.
There's a magic moment that happens only in May, only in Kentucky, when generations and tradition come together and are emblazoned in a coat of roses. Once again, the Kroger florists are proud to share in the tradition.